They say you meet all kinds when you travel, but nothing could have prepared me for what unfolded that day. A routine first-class flight became a front-row seat to the most outrageous display of entitlement I had ever witnessed. Now, the woman at the center of it all is trending for all the wrong reasons. She's been branded the airline meltdown of the year, and trust me, you won't believe how bad it got. Let me know in the comments. Where are you watching from? Have you ever witnessed an airline meltdown like this? Drop your craziest travel stories below. Boarding the flight. The moment I stepped on a flight 782, I felt a wave of exhaustion mixed with relief. It had been a brutal few weeks, back-to-back meetings, project deadlines that seemed to multiply overnight, and more late nights than I cared to admit. But finally, I was on my way home. Even better, I had managed to score a first-class seat. Seat 4A. Fully reclining, glass of champagne waiting, and the kind of legroom that reminded you that maybe life wasn't so bad after all. As I stowed my carry-on into the overhead bin, I exhaled deeply and slid into my seat. The plush leather welcomed me like an old friend. I was adjusting my seatbelt, already imagining the in-flight movie lineup, when the shrill voice cut through the calm like a chainsaw. Enter the diva. She made her entrance with all the grace of a reality show meltdown. A blonde woman, let's call her Tiffany, came storming down the aisle. Tiffany wore oversized sunglasses, a glittering designer tracksuit, and the kind of high-end rolling suitcase that screamed influencer collab. But this wasn't a runway strut. No, she was stomping like a toddler who'd just been told there were no more cookies. The other passengers glanced up, curious. That curiosity quickly turned to dread as she came to a dead stop in front of me. She planted her feet, tilted her head with a look of exaggerated confusion and indignation, and glared at me like I had just committed an unforgivable crime. "You're in my seat," she barked, loud enough that heads turned 3 rows back. The confrontation begins. For a split second, I wondered if she was right. Did I misread my ticket? I glanced down, though I knew full well it said 4A. Calmly, I held it up for her to see. "No, this is my seat," I replied, keeping my tone neutral. That should have been the end of it. A simple misunderstanding. But of course, that's not what happened. Tiffany let out an exasperated sigh, rolled her eyes dramatically, and crossed her arms. "No, that's my seat. I always sit here. I fly this route all the time." As if frequent flyer miles granted you squatters' rights. I kept my voice steady. "I have a confirmed ticket. Seat 4A. She flicked her platinum hair over one shoulder with a huff and turned toward the nearest flight attendant. "Excuse me," Tiffany called, suddenly sugary sweet. "This man is in my seat." The flight attendant weighs in. The flight attendant, a woman named Maria, had the calm professionalism of someone who had seen it all before. She smiled politely and asked Tiffany for her boarding pass. For a brief moment, Tiffany's confident smirk faltered. She rummaged through her rhinestone-encrusted handbag like she was digging for treasure. Finally, she produced a crumpled boarding pass and handed it over with flair. Maria examined it without so much as a flicker of emotion. "Ma'am," she said evenly, "your seat is 23B. There was a pause. You could hear the engines humming outside. Tiffany blinked. Then her face contorted into something between disbelief and outrage. "No, that's not possible," she insisted. "I always fly first class." Meltdown level 1. Maria remained unflappable. "I'm sorry, ma'am. You're assigned seat 23B. It's an economy." That was the spark. Tiffany's arms flew into the air as if summoning the drama gods. "This is ridiculous. I paid for first class. I can't sit in economy. I have a medical condition." Passengers nearby began to whisper. Heads swiveled. Eyes widened. I said nothing. Tiffany was digging her own grave, and I wasn't about to stop her. Maria gently explained that unless Tiffany had an upgrade confirmation, her seat was in economy. Tiffany's eyes turned back to me, filled with venom. "You should switch with me," she snapped. "You're young. You don't need first class as much as I do." The audacity was almost impressive. The influencer card. Just when I thought she couldn't top herself, Tiffany took a deep breath and shifted gears. Her tone changed. Her expression softened into smug confidence. "You clearly don't know who you're dealing with," she said, turning to make sure other passengers were watching. "I'm a social media influencer. I have over 200,000 followers on Instagram. If I post about this airline mistreating loyal customers, it'll go viral." Maria blinked slowly. I stifled a laugh. Tiffany took the silence as encouragement. "I get thousands of likes on my posts," she bragged. "When I speak, people listen." She pulled out her phone like it was a weapon and began furiously typing. Maria tried again. "Ma'am, if you'd like to inquire about an upgrade, you can—" "Oh, don't bother," Tiffany interrupted, dismissing her with a wave. "I shouldn't have to pay for an upgrade when I'm giving this airline free advertising." The recognition. A passenger a row ahead turned and muttered, "Who even uses Instagram for influence these days?" Snickers erupted. And then, from the back of the cabin, "Wait, I know who you are." Tiffany's smile widened, until the woman continued. "You're that chick who got banned from Palm Shores Resort for throwing a fit over their continental breakfast." The energy in the cabin shifted. People pulled out their phones. Suddenly, this wasn't an influencer flexing power. It was a spectacle. That was completely different. Tiffany shrieked. "They lied about their menu." The woman shrugged. "I saw the security footage. The captain gets involved." By now, everyone was watching. Even the pilots must have known something was up, because that's when Captain Thompson appeared. Tall, crisp uniform, gold stripes gleaming. Tiffany's bravado vanished. "Captain," Maria explained, "this passenger refuses to take her assigned seat and is disturbing others." Thompson looked at Tiffany. "Is this true?" Tiffany immediately tried another angle. "I'm being harassed," she whimpered. "These people are bullying me." The captain wasn't buying it. "Ma'am, your boarding pass says 23B. You lied about having a first-class ticket. It was a mistake." Tiffany protested. "Maybe the system." He cut her off. "You purchased a non-refundable economy ticket. No abras. No eres." Security arrives. Tiffany's face drained of color. "Ma'am," the captain said, "you have two choices. Sit in 23B or be removed." Tiffany wailed. "You can't do this. I have rights." That's when security officers appeared. "Ma'am," one officer said calmly, "please comply or you will be escorted off the plane." Passengers began to cheer. The FAA investigator. As Tiffany continued her tantrum, another voice spoke. "I suggest you ban her permanently," came a cool, authoritative tone. A man in a tailored suit set down his newspaper. He held up a badge. FAA investigator. The entire cabin froze. "She's a flight risk," he said. "File an official report." Dragged off the plane. Tiffany screamed. Security zip-tied her wrists. Passengers filmed her being hauled off, wailing. "NLO. I'm an INFLUENCR," she shrieked. Someone muttered, "Not anymore." The aftermath. The cabin sighed in relief. Maria returned and thanked me for my patience. "For what it's worth," she added, "your next upgrade is on us." The FAA investigator chuckled. "She'll be lucky if she's ever allowed to fly again." Going viral. Within an hour, Tiffany was trending as Airline Tiffany. Memes, videos, hashtags. She tried to spin it on Facebook. I was bullied by the passengers and crew. Her followers divided. Some believed her, others saw the truth. When Tiffany started asking people to dox passengers, including me, I realized she had learned nothing. But the airline made it clear. She was banned indefinitely. Reality hits. When we landed, TSA officers waited for her. More cameras. More humiliation. Someone shouted, "It's Airline Tiffany." Applause broke out. She was escorted out, red-faced and broken. Final thoughts. By the time we reached baggage claim, Tiffany's social media was wiped clean. But it was too late. The internet never forgets. As for me, I reclined in my seat, sipped my champagne, and smiled. The nightmare was over. And Tiffany? She had earned every bit of it.